for the extreme inconveniences they've endured throughout the project. The lack of complaints speaks volumes as to their commitment to a clean environment, and also, again, to the professionalism of the contractor. And finally, but not lastly, I want to thank the board members, coaches, and young athletes of the Gloucester City Little League and the Gloucester City Mustang football organizations for their involvement in the planning of the field restoration and their patience and perseverance in dealing with the logistical nightmare of displacing hundreds of children and parents without compromising the promised schedule of events, practices, and games. Your mayor and council are committed to continue to support this remediation project in any way we possibly can, and we will continue to communicate with all the involved entities towards the end goal of providing our youth with a clean and safe environment to grow, compete, and learn in. Thank you very much, and I'm going to introduce to you.
Thank you, good morning. It's entirely appropriate that this celebration today take place in Gloucester City because it reflects the values of Gloucester City. Gloucester City has long been the city of champions, where the young people excel on the sports field and in the classroom, and in many, many ways. And it took a championship team to bring us to this day. So I want to join in thanking the Little League, the Mustangs, the youth sports organizations for making this possible with their excellent citizen volunteer effort. I want to thank Mayor James and the members of the council and the administration in the city for making sure that this was done in a way that benefited Gloucester City and not just some outside project. And they really stood tall, as they always do, for the people of the city. I want to thank Rick and the administrator and the excellent employees at EPA. I've been through a few of these before. And Superfund cleanups are a very difficult problem for a neighborhood. There's a lot of disruption. There's a lot of potential trouble. The opposite happened here. And it was a success because the community was listened to. The community was respected. And that's all because of the professionalism of the EPA team and their continuing sensitivity. I hope you join me in a round of applause for this EPA team. And finally, it takes the work of the contractor, and we do want to thank the contractors, Severson, for the beautiful job that's been done here. And let's do more of it in other places. Let's create more work. Let's clean up more communities and do more good things. The second reason it's appropriate, this being Gloucester, is that Gloucester kids never quit. Never quit. And it took a while to get this project done. It's been on the drawing board for a very long time. It raised a lot of issues, and it wasn't easy to get this all done, but the team never quit, just like the young people of the city never do. And finally, what's important about this is not just a bad site cleaned up or a great new recreational facility. In many ways, it's about the future of the country. If you look across the street at the neighborhoods here, you look behind me at these baseball fields and sports fields, this is what the country looks like. This is what America looks like. Gloucester City is a hard-working, middle-class town where people worked in shipyards and chemical plants and hospitals and employers all over the community. Came home and raised their children, built a terrific public school system and Catholic school system next to it. Excelled, as I said, in the classroom and on the sports field and in many, many other ways. I really worry, that the Gloucester cities of America will be no more in the future. I'm worried about a country that's going to be a few people with a lot, and a lot of people with very little, and nobody in between. We can't let that happen in this country. And one of the ways that we can avoid that is to protect the two things that are most dear in people's lives. The first is their children. No one should have to live in a neighborhood where drinking the water or taking a bath or cooking food could mean getting cancer. No one. And the thorium cleanup was long overdue here. It happened because of the city leadership and EPA leadership. No one should ever have to have that risk anywhere in our country. And then second, this is more than just about cleaning up the site. It's about lifting up the property values of the neighborhood. I assure you, if there was a continuing thorium problem in this neighborhood, no one would ever buy one of those houses behind us, ever. people's dreams would evaporate. Because you know the way people do this in this country. They get married, they have some kids, they buy a house. The house rises in value, they hope. They pay off their mortgage or pay as much as they can, and then they educate their children with a home equity loan. When they've paid that back and they've gotten their kids a college education, then that's their retirement nest egg. Well, if you live near a thorium dump, none of that is possible because your house is never going to be worth what you think it ought to be worth. So this project, in addition to creating 350 jobs at a time when we desperately need them in our country, in addition to protecting the health of the people of Gloucester City and the surrounding area, it's also about protecting home values in this neighborhood. My mother grew up a couple blocks from here, a lot of houses a couple blocks from here, as former Mayor Blvd can tell you, because his dad went to school with my mom. My mom moved 21 times in 25 years. It was not to move up to a better house each time. They had a little trouble paying the rent. And her father died when she was 9. And she lived in a lot of places right in this very neighborhood. And I'm proud that that's where my roots are. When I stand in Washington and deal with people that have come from very different places, I'm proud that this is where my roots are, because I remember what the country's really all about. If we don't have the middle class, if we don't have Gloucester cities, we'll no longer have America. This project is about restimulating and regenerating that idea. So all of you that made that possible, I thank and congratulate you. We're looking forward to doing many, many great more things for the city of Gloucester and the people around it. Thank you very much.